What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the time I almost flipped the truck I was driving on my first week of being a truck driver. So basically started like this. Turned 18, I'm Russian, so truck driving and Russians go hand in hand. I turned 18, I knew this Russian guy, and he's like, hey, come drive the truck for me. So my boss was my team driver. We were team drivers, so we drove 24/7. If you know anything about trucking, if you have a team driver, you can drive 24/7. And we drove across the whole US. So it's my first week. It's going okay, not too bad. My first night, I see a wreck, which is like kind of crazy. So going throughout the week, I'm driving night shifts. It's fine. It is what it is. So truck driver, there's not much you can say. It's just driving a truck. So about a weekend, we go up north. We're in Michigan, I believe. Or we're in Michigan or we're in Indiana, one or the other, and we're at a Caterpillar facility picking up engines for skid steers or bulldozers or whatever they were for. We're picking up diesel Caterpillar motors. So we pick up about 6 or 7 of them. We're at the facility, we're loading them up, and they're short. They're probably about 3 feet high, if that, because they're on tiny little pallets that just go under the oil pan. It's not a full-size pallet that they're on that everybody knows what a pallet size is. It's one of those big, it wasn't one of those. It was a pallet just big enough to go under the oil pan. So we load up about 6 of these, or 7, one or something like that. We load up about 6 or 7, and we line them all up in the middle of the back of the truck. We line them all up. They're not staggered or anything. They're all lined up like this, right in the middle of the truck. And we're not using any straps, so I'm like, I hope these are gonna be okay. So we line them up. It's my first week. I'm not here to question anybody. I'm not gonna tell my boss that maybe we should strap these down. He's the boss, he's been doing this. It is what it is. So we line them up and we're off. We pick him up during the day, so he's driving during the day. It's fine. Then my turn comes, I'm driving the night shift. So as soon as the night shift rolls around, I'm rolling in about 2 hours into my shift, and not my shift, but my driving time. You can drive for 11 hours. I'm about 2 hours in, and we have to get fuel. So we go to Murphy USA. He has a Murphy USA card, so he gets points, and basically you got to save on every cent as you can as a truck driver, because that's where your money is, and the fuel and stuff like that. So we stop at a Murphy USA and we fill up. Nothing out of the ordinary. We're filling up just as usual, and we're about to leave, and we get done filling up and we're leaving. So whenever I was leaving, because I'm driving at this point, put this down. We're leaving at this point, and I see the intersection. I have to, out of this gas station, I have to go out and make a left so I can make a right onto the highway, and the highway's right there. So I have to go out, make a left, and then make a right on the highway. So this intersection is like a hill on both sides. I come out and it's a hill up, and then the other side of the road is a hill down. So it's like a pyramid almost, but obviously not as slanted as a pyramid, but you get the picture. One side is up, the other side goes down. So I guess by the way I hit this intersection going left, I guess the motors all lost balance, or at least 3 or 4 of them, because they're on the small pallet. You got to remember, it's on a little pallet that just goes on the oil pan just for them to stay up. That's not really meant for them to be moving all around and stuff like that. So these motors all tip, about 3 or 4 of them tip, I want to say, if not more, and they go flying into the side of the box. You gotta think this is a box truck, right? So what's that sound? Oh, it's that school bus. Anyway, you got to think these the motors all tip over and fly into the side of this box. You got to think about a box truck. This box, the side of it is not meant to withstand that type of impact, right? So I'm surprised those motors didn't fly straight out of the side of that box and onto the ground. Okay, I guess the only thing that stopped them was it being, because the middle of the box isn't that far away, obviously, from the wall. So the only thing that stopped them from flying through was the short distance that caused them to do that. But what it did do was all that weight flying to the side lifted the truck up on 2 wheels. So now I'm driving a box truck on 2 wheels like this, trying to get the truck to go back on its side. Luckily, with my driving experience and all the stuff I've done, like in fast cars and all my car experience, I think that's what saved me, because I knew as soon as it went up, I knew to turn right. Okay, so I turn right. I'm on the side of two wheels for like 5 seconds. I'm like just driving this thing. My boss in the back screaming because he flies up. He's trying to sleep and he like flies up. He's like yelling my name, rushing. He's like, yeah. I'm like trying to barely trying to keep this thing on two wheels just so it doesn't flip over. And next thing you know, this freaking RT just flew by, and holy crap, dude, this guy's flying. Anyway, I freaking get this thing back on four wheels. All the motors have flown to the side, and we stop on the side of the highway on ramp, and we got to freaking load these things back into the middle. Man, it was just such a pain, and I can't believe I almost flipped a box truck on my first freaking night, on my first week of driving. It was insane. Being a truck driver, guys, if you were ever a truck driver, you know that junk it's kind of a pain, especially driving night shift. I was always the night shift driver, and just driving overnight, if you've been driving overnight, it's really, really tough to stay awake sometimes. Just keeping your eyes open, even if you take like an energy drink or something, sleep just kicks in. I don't care what you take, sleep kicks in and it wants to overpower you no matter what. So that's what it was like being a truck driver. But yeah, my first week I almost flipped a box truck. Luckily all the motors were fine. Man, imagine if all those motors flew through the box and onto the ground. That whole load would have been, those motors are expensive. They're like freaking, I think like 30 grand, something like that a piece. They're brand new, so whole load would have been gone. Box truck would have been screwed up. Like, I'm surprised the box was still good. As soon as we looked over it, the box only had like 2 tiny dents or something like that. I'm like, man, this thing's strong, reinforced. I mean, luckily it was a brand new, not old, beat up, box truck. But yeah, we got really lucky. Thank God that everything was safe and stuff. But yeah, that was my first week as a box truck driver. I drove for about a year. If you guys have any other questions of what it was like being a truck driver, if you guys maybe are about to go into trucking or something like that, ask me. I'll tell you my whole experience. I got actually a lot of truck driving stories that were like kind of funny, man. Yeah, they're actually pretty funny. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I'm not a truck driver anymore. But yeah, that was my first week as a truck driver, guys. Thanks for watching.